How do you plan the strategy of how to defeat a Connors, let's say, just to pick a name out of the air?
That's a good name. I hope to get him to play for our Davis Cup team next year. I think there's a pretty good possibility he might play, although he hasn't given me an official okay yet. It depends upon the surface you're playing on. It depends upon the ball you're going to use. Mm-hmm. And it also, I think, depends upon where you're playing. The surface makes a lot of difference. If you're playing on clay, you're going to have to figure out that you're going to play one way. If you're playing on grass, you'll play another way. If you're playing on cement, you'll play another way. Mm-hmm. American tennis balls and European tennis balls are not made the same way. When you read a result in this week, for instance, the tour is in Bologna, Italy. Mm-hmm. Now, they're playing with Pirelli balls, probably, and the tired people. Yeah. And so you can imagine what the Pirelli tennis balls are like. They are not like the balls that we play with.
Can you keep them in the court if you happen to hit one?
It would take a superhuman effort here to hit a Pirelli ball the same distance it would take to, say, hit a pressurized Wilson ball.
Well, they're heavier and rubbery and...
Yeah, softer. Thicker. And the resiliency of the ball comes from the rubber itself. Whereas for American tennis balls, the resiliency, the bounce comes from air pumped inside the ball.
Well, that makes such a basic difference. It seems to me it's a different game.
Monstrous difference. I mean, if you take, most typically Americans play with light-headed tennis rackets that are light in the head, and you go over to Europe with 16-gauge string strung at about 55 pounds, and you try to hit a Pirelli ball or a Dunlop football, and the ball will just laugh at you. It won't go anyplace.
Gee. Well, how do you adjust to that? I mean, it's like asking a violinist to play with 2 extra strings.
That's right,
or something, or none.
I saw Zuckerman change his string one day on stage, and this channel too. Anyway, now you learn how to adjust, but what has helped are these new big-headed rackets, because you get that trampoline effect, and with the bigger surface area, it makes it a lot easier to hit the ball across the net. But to answer your question, all of those things would be taken into account if you're going to play somebody like Jimmy Connors. Mm-hmm. But you want to try to play to his weakness. In general, what you want to do is a combination of 2 things. You must be able to control the middle, which is a theory I remember discussing. I fully believe with Bill Russell one day that in most sports, the team or the person that dominates the middle is going to win.
The middle of what?
Middle
of the
period.
Court, or
the middle period, like in a football game. Next time you watch a football game, if the center and the two and the left and the right guard can do their job, you're going to win. You're going to move the ball. Same with basketball. The center dominates. Mm-hmm. Same with soccer.
Dominate the middle.
Dominate. If you can control the middle, you got a good chance. Yeah. If you can't, you got problems.
How would I do it here with only one other person here? I'd have to...
You could put this mic in the middle, maybe.
Maybe something will... Last time, Arthur, I was asking you toward the end of the thing, we were talking about how would you take a player like Connors and how would you plan your strategy when you're playing against him? And you defeated Connors.
Yes.
You may recall.
Yeah.
Can you remember then?
On that particular time, that was the finals of Wimbledon, on grass with Slazenger balls on a day when the temperature was about 65 degrees and no sun. Mm-hmm.
All important.
Yeah, it is. It actually is. If one could draw a straight latitudinal line from London westward, you would hit someplace in Hudson Bay. People don't realize how far north latitude London is. Mm-hmm. New York City, for instance, is on the same latitude as Madrid, Spain. So at 2 o'clock, when Wimbledon play starts every day, if you are right-handed, the sun is right in your eyes. I mean, it is. So I was actually that day praying for cloudy weather. And if it had been a sunny day and I had won the toss or the spin of the racket, I would have elected to receive. Or I would have possibly chosen the side of the court that would allow me to serve first with my back to the sun rather than looking in the sun.
Well, because of the sun.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's murder
Sure.
at that latitude, and
Yeah.
obviously it stays light a long time. So the sun stays high in the air a long time.
Now, are you saying that all tournament players and pros don't think of this? Or
Well, I think I hope that, the smart ones do, I guess.
Yeah.
I hope. If you're left-handed, it doesn't matter,
Uh-huh.
because the sun's never really in your eyes. But anyway,
Why? Wait a minute. Why would that be?
it's never directly in your eyes if you're left-handed. It just isn't. Because if you're, the sun is to your back on
Yeah.
on the south end anyway, whether you're right-handed or left-handed.
Yeah.
And when you're on the north side of the court, you're actually looking east of the sun. So the
Mhm.
sun's not in your eye. You might see it out of the corner of your right eye, but that's all. So Roscoe Tanner
Right.
never has any problems at 2 o'clock on a sunny day on the court at Wimbledon.
I see.
Yeah. But if you're
Okay.
right-handed, you got a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Basically, Jimmy Connors really has only one weak spot, and that's his low forehand passing shot or approach shot.
Mhm.
And that coupled with the fact that the harder you hit the ball, the better he likes it. And I tried to play upon those two things.
Would that mean you threw him a lot of junk in tennis?
Yes.
Meaning what? That you just
junk,
lobbed
most
some
of the
easy
time,
stuff?
yeah, that's exactly right.
Mhm.
You want to hit the ball over with no pace.
Mhm.
And secondly, you want the ball to take as funny a bounce as possible when it hits the grass. So you don't want to hit anything flat.
Yeah.
Roscoe had played Jimmy in the semifinals 2 days before, and I'd watched that because I had just finished my match. And I had never seen Roscoe serve better. He got about 60% of his first serves in, and he lost in about an hour and 20 minutes. So I'm saying to myself, and he had not lost a set up till the finals, so I'm saying to myself, whatever I do, I can't serve hard or play the way I normally play.
Mhm.
So I hit the ball down the middle with a lot of underspin, and I served wide to both sides. He has a two-handed backhand and make him really stretch. If you play with two hands, then you have to reach a little bit farther.
Mhm.
So you serve wide on the forehand side, wide on the backhand side to take him off court.
Uh-huh.
And the rest of the time you hit the ball right down the middle, so you won't give him any angles.
Now, he's been around as long as you have. Why didn't he? Well, presumably he knows a lot about
He's
tennis
10
too.
years
I guess
younger,
what I'm
though.
saying.
He's
He
10
is-
years younger.
Is he?
Yeah,
That much younger?
Connors is 20. It seems like, that's funny you should say that, because people
No,
are,
that's funny.
for instance, people say, geez, that Chrissy Everett's been around a long time.
Yeah.
Chrissy's only 25 years old, but she has been around 8 years at the top. So it seems like she's probably at Billie Jean's age, but she really isn't. Yeah.
I guess what I meant to say was that wouldn't he know what strategy you were going to use against him, since
No.
each guy knows his own weaknesses and
No.
so on, but I guess it doesn't work that way.
No, he wouldn't know. No,
No.
and like I said yesterday or last night, if we were playing on clay, I probably wouldn't have planned the same sort of strategy.
Mhm.
Might not have won either.
Yeah. But it would have been a different plan depending
Completely
on
different.
the
Yeah.
symbol.